Hey guys, what's going on? This week we were talking about trends. We're going to help you hopefully understand how to find some trends quickly and then how to do some quick trend research. So I'm going to have Nathaniel start on his Facebook page just because it's a quicker way to find local trends. And then Nathaniel, if you want to explain what it is that you're doing and then kind of the trends that you're seeing, possibly some keywords, and then we'll go to Google Trends and then I'll go from there.
Sounds good. So this is a tip that I picked up a while ago. Just as I'm traveling, I like to create shirts as I'm going for the places that I'm visiting. I really love doing shirts on a local level. It's not going to be as popular as some of the other things, but it's fun for me to know that I visited a place, I made a shirt about that place, and then they're selling. So something that helps me do that is the events that Facebook talks about. Up at the top, you'll see some of the upcoming events for like my friends have posted or that they're going to or that I've been invited to. But if you scroll down a bit, you'll see events that are popular across Facebook and events that you might like. And these are usually in your area that you're currently in. So, like a garden opening. So, I can't say that you're going to definitely get ideas in here, but this is just a place that I look as I'm traveling for local trend ideas. So here's one, a beer festival that's going on in Michigan. Again, you'll have to trademark check all of this stuff before you do it. But maybe you could do a beer festival shirt for Michigan. You don't want to necessarily relate it to this event because you don't know the trademark of that. And there's a whole strategy of like actually going after this event and contacting them and all of that, but that's not what this video is about. I just want to show you a place that you can get ideas for local trends or local events that are going on that might have some traffic on Amazon as well. There's good ideas in here. You just have to dig a little bit. But we can move on to Google Trends if you kind of want to talk about this, brother.
Yes. So normally with Google Trends, the featured insights is kind of where I start. So you can see Guns in America is a hot topic right now. Prom 2018, that's something else that I would go, oh, maybe that's a trend that I can ride. And then obviously the British royal wedding is like the super popular one right now. So you can scroll through all of these. If you want to, just to click through. No, the top, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Because there's more than just these three. Yeah. I would just click through a few of these. I mean, Trump administration, North Korea, obviously that's kind of hot. Immigration. These are just trends, things that are going on. Mother's Day, that's kind of passed already. Teachers Appreciation Week. So these are just great places to get ideas. Earth Day. And then you can scroll down. And then when you scroll down, these are kind of like the,
Stories.
yeah. So from there, we'll go into the research side of it. We're going to start on Google. We're going to focus on the royal wedding because that's the trend that just passed. So normally when I go to Google, I just start and I type in whatever I think the most popular word for that trend would be. In this case, it'd be royal wedding. As soon as I type in RO, royal wedding comes up. And then from here, all I'm trying to do is find keywords that I can bring to Amazon and see what's there. Now, when you start doing this and the trend is just becoming popular, there might not be anything. But if there's an indication of somebody else is typing that in, then like the auto suggest that Amazon has, then you can, it's a safe bet that you can start putting shirts there. So I'm normally looking for like a newspaper. So BBC is probably the best place to start because then all I'm trying to do is pull the words from this and then put them onto an Excel spreadsheet, do a trademark check for all of them, and then whichever ones pass, I'll be using those. So we're not going to do the trademark check because that takes too long, and in this video I just want to show you how I'm pulling. So obviously royal wedding is what I typed in. It's probably the most used. Again, their names is another thing that I want to try to see if it's maybe not trademarked. Harry's probably not trademarked. Release official photos, I'm not too worried about that. I'm just trying to get additional information. So where it's at or what he's prints over. I mean, bridesmaid is another keyword that I'd be pulling. Queen. I'm not going to spend too much longer on here, but I'm just going to try to Duke, Duchess, pull keywords that I wouldn't be thinking about. Sometimes the date, that's another big one if it's happening on a big date. I try to pull that information. I don't know when this was. Do you know, Nathaniel? I think it was the 19th, right?
Your guess is as good as mine.
I bet you if we just go back, it's probably like the biggest thing on there. Saturday, May 19th.
Nice.
So I'll be running all these through Trademark, like I said, and then I'll be trying to put them into Amazon. And because we're doing this trend after, I'm going to kind of cheat. Because there will be things here, and you can kind of see that's how many other competitors. And then you can, I mean, from now, pull ideas from this. And Nathaniel's going to go a little deeper into like what type of art you should be standing on. But I just wanted to see if this one was selling. And as you can see, it sold very well. Now, you have to be very careful with Trademark on a lot of these. And like I said, when you're starting to do this research, there's probably not going to be a lot of other competitors on that. But as the weeks go on leading up to the event, you'll start seeing other competitors. And you can definitely click on their listing and kind of see what other keywords they're using. See, Celebrate, England. That's definitely something I would pull. Mother's Day, I don't know if I'd kind of keyword stuff it like that. But just for royal wedding, that's where I'd start. And I would be trying to see if I type in royal wedding, what other suggestions is Amazon making. So obviously royal wedding is here, but maybe not with the shirts on it. But it did auto-suggest. But this, again, is after the fact. But if you're trying to do this beforehand, just try to see what they're going to be auto-suggesting. So I'm going to do it again with this one. See, wedding, mug, tea. And if you type in SH, it does come up with shirt. Again, there's a little bit more results for this one, so there's probably more people targeting this. But then you can just see the shirts that are here. Again, if you're doing this beforehand, this is probably not all going to be here, but as long as Amazon is suggesting something like this, then it's a safe bet that people are also going to be looking for shirts. So, I mean, I could run through all these examples, but that's kind of the idea behind it. And as we're trying to keep this video short, I'll just end it there. All right, guys, now that you've seen my keyword side of how to kind of track down trends and use that information, I'm going to have Nathaniel show you from his art perspective. So we know we're going after royal wedding. So Nathaniel, what is something that you would do? Would you try to separate those out and find just like wedding shirts, or try to find like prince, queen, king type shirts? What would you do?
Yeah, so I want to think about other topics that are already popular that somewhat relate to the trend that we're going after. So if I were to do this, I would type in wedding shirts in Amazon first, just to see what comes up. I'm actually going to type t-shirts because I know wedding shirt is going to bring up like more of a dress style. So if we type in wedding t-shirt, of course, most of these are going to be related to the royal wedding because it was that big of a trend and it just happened. So a lot of these shirts are still pretty hot. But if we find ideas like this, we still do since 2016. That's more of an anniversary shirt, I guess, and it's actually sponsored. Most of these are royal, which is funny. But even so, something like this, Bride Tribe, if you've looked at wedding shirts before, this is definitely a niche I've looked at. This shirt has just been super popular for a very long time. This is the BSR here, so it sells multiple times a day and has for months. So Bride Tribe is, wording that you could use and just relate the artwork towards the royal wedding. So you could say Bride Tribe and then just have like a royal crown or something. Because the saying is already popular. So making it work for the trend that you're going after is usually a good way to draw in traffic. Since most of these are towards the royal wedding already, I'm actually going to go off of Amazon and do the same thing. Just type in wedding t-shirt.
So I just had a quick question. With that Bride Tribe, is that something that you would use that same like inspirational art? So would you have possibly their two names above and below with that little heart and the, I don't know what you call those arrows, I guess?
Yeah, so we can talk about kind of the split testing of how to do all that, but just to get the basic ideas of the artwork that I'm going to try, I want to see more sayings.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, sayings or popular pieces like art elements that are popular. So obviously it's a royal wedding, so like the crown and the England flag, things that you think of when you think of kind of the royal family. That's kind of imagery that you're going to be wanting to use. But really, the sayings that go with that are going to allow you to differentiate yourself from everyone else just putting, hearts with the flags in there. Like this is a really popular design. I'm sure a million people did this. So if we look at some wedding T-shirts, um, these, so you can see these are not related to the royal wedding as much. So you can get a lot of ideas from this. No refunds, no exchanges. Again, you'll have to trademark all of these things, just how Steven trademarks his keywords.
Trademark check.
Yeah, trademark check, all of these things. But this idea is pretty funny. So if you did no refunds, no exchanges, with the crown and the royal or the British flag, things like that, just to get ideas to start thinking of T-shirt designs. The last thing that I want to talk about is actually just the sayings. So if you say funny wedding sayings, I looked this up previously, so I knew what I was looking at. But you don't want to use anything too long. So like some of these quotes, they might be funny, but it's just too much to put onto a T-shirt. So I found at the bottom here, there was just like some really short, funny sayings that you could use. And again, just use the imagery that relates it back to the royal wedding. So keep calm, wedding is coming, and then the crown and the flag. Like I think you guys get what I'm going after. But just to get ideas off of Amazon for art is also possible and is really helpful when you're going after a trend that's not already flooded or blown out or passed in this case.
Yeah, so if you want to go back to Amazon, and then we can touch on split testing. All right, so now that we've shown you my keyword side of how I'm trying to find good landing zones, Nathaniel's example of how to use the art and the art elements, and then additional ways to find other keywords that might help you, we're going to try to quickly explain how we split test on trends. So Nathaniel, if you type in royal wedding t-shirt, because this is a landing zone that I found that I said, okay, this is something I want to go after. Again, when you make that Excel spreadsheet, how I was showing you, you're going to find a few different landing zones that you want to test. So you're going to want to test each one of those. We're just going to pick one, which is the royal wedding t-shirt. And then I'm going to say, for me, I would be trying to filter out different keywords. So their names, the dates, other things that I think might be related, like the wedding, or like Nathaniel was saying, the prince, or just any kind of royal family type keywords into this listing. But this is the landing zones that I'm going to target with all that keyword data. And then Nathaniel, from the art side, how would you make additional shirts to fit inside this landing zone?
Yeah, so there's a million and one ways to kind of take one design and spread it out between like 10, 20, how many ever designs works for you. We've talked about that before in our split testing video. But for something like this, if we just pick even say this design that I keep saying that's pretty popular, you can see that different ways people are doing it. So even just splitting up the hearts a little bit and putting one crown and changing up the text and changing up the text size. There's so many different ways that you can use the same art elements, even the same text and everything, but just changing out the layout of it or changing everything to be black and white instead of all colorful. There's a lot that you can do inside of the text. Use the way that you're lining up the text. Maybe you have one word per line, or maybe you have this all in one line. You don't want to take all day to do this, but using those same elements and thinking of different ways that you can do the layouts is really what's going to help you split test artwork and be able to do that quickly. So this was a quick overview of how we find trends and kind of take advantage of them. If you guys would like us to expand on this a bit more, let us know down in the comments below, and we could definitely do a full course on this. But because we like to keep these videos a bit shorter and not give a ton of detail and just get you guys in the right mindset, that's what we wanted to do with this video, and I think we've done a good job, and hopefully we can help you guys find trends and be able to take advantage of them.